Hey there, fellow Wargamers. It's your man, it's the Sentinel from across the tabletop. In the last episode, we were talking about the ITC ranking system and potentially looking at crossbreeding the ITC ranking with the chess ranking system from the Chess Federation and having a rating system that ranks people and allows you to pair off those that are ranked in pods more efficiently at the beginning of the tournaments into their ranking positions in their pods, so we could speed up the whole tournament, playing the best of the best. So the biggest and the biggest event that's just happened recently is the London Grand Tournament in the UK. 700 players were noted down, but it isn't just Warhammer. There is Fantasy, Age of Sigmar, there's Horus Heresy, there's a myriad of different events going on, so we can't just turn around and say it's a 40k event, because that's not true. Zach, the guy behind the Warhammer tournaments in the UK, isn't just doing 40k events. He's doing a myriad of different events. He's including all sorts, and this event organizer isn't just, you know, on the bandwagon to make sure 40k is run for us in the community, especially not at the event site in London. So the talking points that have been taken from the London GT that are being spread over the community at the moment on YouTube and stuff like that are, you know, chess clocks running out of time, you know, for some players, not submitting scores in a timely manner, then having the issue of game mechanics that always pop up in some games, and how terrain works with miniatures, with defensive profiles, and being able to do certain activities and things like that. This comes down to standards and how we treat our players, and that whole sportsmanship and how we communicate on the tabletop with each other. We've seen this as a push from Vanguard Tactics. They are the leading forefront of his whole persona, is how you play the game with your opponent and how you are perceived across the table from them, your engagement in the game and how you conduct yourself. So there was a few issues on that mannerisms and that sort of side of life. There was the biggest issue I think the community has brought away from it, there wasn't enough on the live streaming. There wasn't enough coverage of the actual event for those that didn't go to be able to watch it from home. There is a Reddit post out there, I'll let you go and find it. It's something to do with maybe, you know, it's a lot for one person to put on his shoulders and organise on top of trying to sort out stream as well, was the sort of takeaway from that, from their side of life, from their opinion. And you can't just expect one person to do it all. So we as a community, I think we need to come up with, and I think Mikey's mentioned it, I think, you know, Frontline Gaming have mentioned it on their Grim After Dark. There's a load of YouTubers out there talking about it, that if we want these things to move forward in the direction of potential viewing or more interaction with the community on larger scales, we as the community need to develop the methods for that to happen. So the live streams need to become more efficient, more effective, better quality. They need to be interactive, because that's how the community is at the moment. The community is working, and it needs to be put onto a sporting manner of interaction. You know, we watch the football because we have someone commentating over it, or we watch the rugby because we can hear the referee and the players when they're discussing the major issues. We watch the athletics because there is a competitive edge to who wins, you know, and we're following our favourite runner, or we're following our favourite javelin or high jumper, you know, and there is a dedication of fans to those particular players, and the interaction from the players to the fans then is what inspires more people to join and make a connection through the human aspect of people, not just behind a camera rolling dice. Or, you know, we know more about footballers, so we're invested more into the clubs. There is branding that we've got to think about as well. You know, if we want to encourage more people to join us, we want to make it as interactive as possible and as friendly as possible, to be able to take the stigma away from it's just sweaty guys sat in attics and sheds with their friends at the weekend drinking beer and rolling dice. And I think all that is going to take a committed group of like-minded community members to push forward, and we've got those guys out there already doing that. You know, Twisted Dice having that great interaction that they do on their day of tournaments. You've got the Hellstorm Wargaming doing their events and tournaments. We've got, you know, S&N Battle Reports and their tournaments they're doing over in Gibraltar. You know, the greatest people that we don't talk about enough, I think, is Mini Wargaming, as they are the forefront and the edge of all of the community setups online now. If it weren't for them and the way that they developed their channel and their business product, a lot of us probably wouldn't be as involved online as we are today. So many thanks to Matthew and Dave out there at Mini Wargaming for encouraging us all to do more for the community. And then you've got Honest Wargamer, you know, who's done all that stuff online, making the streaming stuff go ahead for the Age of Sigmar. He streamed last year at the LGT Hellstorm the year before. And then unfortunately we didn't have a major streamer this year, but I think, you know, we've already established that wasn't the tournament organisers' fault. Yeah, and we if we want that, then we need to, as a community, develop the infrastructure to provide it on a regular basis, a little bit like Live War Games Live that is doing at the moment in America. He's took the time. He's a one-man show. He's put it all together. He's going around to as many tournaments as possible. Last year, he's made a name for himself. Frontline Gaming have even asked him to come down to some of the major events that they're hosting, even if they're doing their own live streaming. They want him there. Same as Games Workshop, they're doing their live streaming. They still want him there because of his setup, his persona, his interaction with the community, and the way that Joe is doing that's live streaming is a standard I think we all really want to emulate. And I think it's an amazing setup that he's got. I really enjoy watching his live streams, and everybody says, I think most people would say that his live streams are on the cutting edge at the moment on the way that he's delivering. We've also got some of the greatest players at the moment that are in both continents, you know, America and Europe, pushing forward the incredible standards at the level that we would inspire to be at. So we need the encouragement. We need to, well, I think the community would like to see more encouragement on those experienced players to come out and try and set the standard or produce something that we can all replicate to encourage more on the side of community. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Hopefully we can, I'm going to see myself, I'm going to try and develop my own channel to probably at this stage head down the live streaming. I'm now looking at some setups, and I'm going to try and look at some overlays and OBS possibly, and try and get some sort of live streaming setup, and potentially we'll see, maybe get an event together and try and get a live stream going on that event, and see how difficult it actually is instead of just talking about it. Yeah, so stay tuned, check in, and we'll catch you another time. Take care, and bye bye.